Hey, good morning, friends. Jeff from Bygone here with another video of this spectacular 94 F-150 short bed. This is a 5-liter 302 truck as well with just 53,000 original miles. I encourage you to take a look at our other videos that go through a drive along, exterior, walk around, interior, engine compartment, undercarriage, all that good stuff. But this video is a little bit different from previous vehicles that we've sold over the years. It's becoming more and more obvious that not everyone likes reading my long-winded descriptions of my vehicles. So I thought, well, heck, for folks who don't care to read all the time, maybe they would just want me to talk through the history of a vehicle. So that's what we're going to do here. And I think a fitting way to start is just to talk a little bit about how the truck has been used, or its a lack of use is maybe a better way to talk about it, because the truck was never purchased with the intention to haul or really be used as a truck. It was just supposed to be the coolest looking pickup at church every Sunday. And just as my grandparents had a Cadillac that only saw limited duty over the years, and many of you might be nodding along because maybe your dad had that great big Ford or Chrysler, or maybe a big Buick that only saw drives on the weekends. That's how this truck was purchased, and that's really how it's been cared for over the years. And that, my friends, is why it's such a big deal, because trucks weren't purchased with that in mind, especially back in 1994. So in early 1994, Mr. James Dunn of Corinth, Mississippi was 76 years old. He drove to Action Ford Lincoln Mercury, also in Corinth, to order a new pickup truck. Don't know the particulars behind that, but his family says that he was feisty, and at 76 he wanted a new truck. Again, he wasn't looking to haul, wasn't looking to go off-roading. He wanted a short bed, regular cab F-150 with a V8, so that he and his wife could look sharp together on weekends. Mr. Dunn sat down with his salesperson, and they started going through the options available. And back in the 90s, you could still, in addition to the packages offered, you could still onesie, twosie trucks quite a bit, including ordering special paint and special order paint. So he started checking off all the regular boxes, right? Like, as we said, he wanted a short bed, 2-wheel drive. He wanted the XLT package, which gave you the power options, gave you AC as well, gave you the chrome bumpers, leather wrapped steering wheel, and gave you the nicer seat, that really plush, cushiony seat that so many people remember from this era of pickup truck. He also wanted an automatic transmission. In addition to that, Mr. Dunn wanted to stand out, and so one area back in this time frame that you really could customize a vehicle was in paint colors. You could do just about any combination that you wanted. And so new for 94 was this gorgeous desert copper metallic. Now, by 94, any metallic paints were clear coat paints. Just a few of the regular paints were still single stage, like black, for example, in 94 was still single stage. So this is a clear coat truck as well. But after picking out the desert copper metallic, which, by the way, is like a root beer in some light, and then right now, because some of you are going, root beer, what are you talking about? In some light, it gives off like this orangey red appearance. But like, if you look over on the rear wheel wells, see where that darker tinge comes in? So like out in the sun, a lot of times, that's what you get with this as well. And so Mr. Dunn wanted two-tone. And so in addition to the desert copper, he thought white would look cool, but not bright white. Ford offered this beigey white, and some of you are nodding along because you remember this color well. It's Colonial White, and it is warm. It's not like a cool, cold white. It is warm, and it goes perfectly with Desert Copper Metallic. Now, when I saw this truck for the first time, I knew it was a rare combo. I'd never seen anything like this. And I actually ordered a Marty report for this. And you'll see in another video where we go through the Marty report and some of the history on the truck, receipts and things like that. You'll see that this was just one of, I think, 102 made in this color combo. So it is rare. So Mr. Dunn wrapped this up with his salesperson, and their family tells me that at the time they weren't sure if the truck would even be ordered. They didn't know if Ford was going to reject this combo. They just thought, well, let's give it a try. And that spring, 76-year-old James Dunn took delivery of his new pickup. He had no idea how rare the combo was, but just to give you an idea, there were 455,000 F-Series pickups made in '94. Let that sink in. And we're talking just one of just over 100 in this combo. If you've ever been to Corinth, Mississippi, it's the biggest small town you've ever been in, and I can just imagine how delighted Mr. Dunn was to drive around town in his new pickup truck. As I've mentioned in other videos, it was always garaged, and then family tells me only used in good weather. Sadly, though, Mr. Dunn only had 4 years to enjoy this truck. At the age of 80, he passed in 1998, and at this time, the truck remained in his garage with his wife and in the care of his wife and Mr. Dunn's 2 sons. Now, as many of you know from having parents pass, they didn't have the heart to sell Dad's truck. So they would fire it up and they would drive it occasionally if they wanted to feel close to Dad, and take it out on weekends, and they drove it, but sparingly. And by 2006, the truck had just 46,000 miles, and by 2012, it had just 52,000 miles. Around this time in 2012, Mrs. Dunn's health started to fail, and the truck was retitled into one of their sons' names. So you'll see that on the Carfax report. In 2016, at 91 years old, Mrs. Dunn passed. The sons still occasionally drove the truck. Although it was just in one son's name, they both took it out. And honestly, they just hung on to it for sentimental reasons. And it wasn't until one of Mr. Dunn's sons passed in 2018 that the surviving son decided it was time to pass the torch. I had an opportunity at that time to purchase the truck from the Dunn family, and I was honored. I was absolutely honored to own it. So I had the truck for a summer or so, and I was still teaching high school at the time, but I was buying and selling Survivors on the side, and I found a outstanding caretaker for this pickup truck down in Arkansas. After 3 years of ownership, the owner reached out to me earlier this year and asked if I wanted to buy the truck back before he put it up for sale. I was so honored. So absolutely honored to have a chance to have this beautiful pickup truck back home here, even for a short period of time. In the meantime here, I've shifted a little bit in my career. I've stopped teaching high school, and I did obtain a dealer's license from the state of Wisconsin, and I'm now proud owner of Bygone, a small classic car dealership out here in the Driftless area of beautiful south central Wisconsin. For those of you who are bored right now, just wait. It's about to get worse here. Okay, so I have written down here that although Kevin Marty's services are typically used for vintage Mustangs and Torinos, I thought this unusual factory paint warranted a deluxe report, and As I mentioned, sure enough, my suspicions were confirmed. This truck is so rare, and very well could be one of the only ones still left in this combination. I've never seen another one since. I'll let the hundreds of photos and the videos tell the story of the truck. I really hope that this pickup ends up in the hands of a good caretaker, someone who honors it the way it's been cared for over the years, because it deserves a good home. It's just a stunner, an absolute stunner. Thank you so much for your time. Again, Jeff from Bygone. Feel free to reach out with any questions you might have. I should mention the truck now. The truck now has just 53,200 miles. So it's as low as I think you're going to get on one of these F-Series pickups. Take care, gang.